made this known during the last phase of mission launch at Akamkpa General Hospital, Cross River State, by the chairman of Senate Committee on NDDC, Senator Sukwo Ikpeyong. Senator Ikpeyong stressed the importance of health, stating that the first and best gift to anybody is sound health. Niger Delta Development Commission Managing Director Dr. Samuel Obuku, represented by Dr. Eme Inyabia, highlighted the mission's impact, which aligns with the UN Sustainable Development Goal for universal health coverage. Director of Education, Health and Social Services at the NDDC, Dr. George Uzonwanne, detailed the services offered during the mission to include malaria treatment, fibroid surgeries, as well as ensuring surgical patients receive proper care and referrals if needed. Member representing Akamkpa 1 State constituency in the Cross River State House of Assembly, Honorable Okun Uwungwa, thanked the NDDC and promised to mobilize constituents to benefit from the outreach, which runs until June 22, 2024. On to Delta, where the state government has increased efforts to curb illicit drugs in the state, as the Delta State Commissioner for Police Monitoring Unit has arrested 2 suspects with illicit hard drugs in Asaba. Delta State Police Public Relations Officer SP Bright Edafe confirmed the development in a statement and said the suspects arrested on June 13 were identified as Emeka Ozumo and Patrick Otukam. SP Edafe noted that 13 bottles of codeine as well as 23 sachets of tramadol and other hard drugs were recovered from them. Meanwhile, Delta State Commissioner of Police CP Abanwunda Olufemi has urged youth to shun all forms of crime and also stay away from drug abuse, as it is dangerous to their health and also capable of pushing them into criminal activities. Olufemi noted that the operatives of the Crack Squad, Monitoring Unit and Radar Squad have been deployed to crack down on a drug peddling hideout in the state. In what appears to be a twist of fate, Delta State's Police Command has found operatives led by ASP Julius Robinson arrested Felix Egbe, a former youth secretary of Otero Community in Ughelli North local government area of the state. Delta State's Police Public Relations Officer SP Bright Edafe, who confirmed the arrest in a statement on Tuesday, he said the suspect is a notorious cultist and member of Aye Confraternity. He also added that upon interrogation, the suspect took operatives to his residence where a Beretta pistol was recovered. He said the investigation is, however, still ongoing. The Okwoma-Okoloba communal crisis in Delta State has taken a new twist as the Okoloba Federated Community in Bomadi local government area has kicked against ongoing moves by the state government to resettle the troubled Okwoma indigents of Ughelli South local government area back into their devastated homes. Also, in more stories, in Delta State, the Okoloba Federated Community described the Okwoma indigents as strangers in the troubled locality, saying they have no basis claiming any land in the first instance because they never owned one. This was contained in a statement signed by the chairman of Okoloba Federated Community, Mr. Clement Koki, copies of which were made available to newsmen in Warri on Tuesday. Okoloba Federated Community in a statement expressed worry that any hurried and haphazard approach to the dispute will not stand the test of time. The community added that the root cause of the dispute must be explored exhaustively, as this is the only sure bet to a lasting peace. Recall that the lingering boundary dispute between the Okwoma and Okoloba communities became a national discourse following the March 24, 2024 killings of 17 military officers and soldiers reportedly on a peace mission in Okwoma. And in the world of sports, world record holder in the women's 100-meter hurdles, Tobia Musong, claimed her 4th Nigerian title at the ongoing Athletics Federation of Nigeria's national trials at the Samuel Wemudia Stadium in Benin City, Edo State. She powered through to the finish line at a time of 12.78 seconds ahead of Adaobi Togubo, who finished second in 13.33 seconds. The event, which ended on Tuesday, will be used by the AFN to pick athletes for the Paris Olympics, the Africa Championships to be held later this month in Cameroon, and the World Under-20 Championships in Lima, Peru, from August 27 to 31st. Although Musang had qualified for the Olympics, she executed her race smoothly, but didn't defend her title. In what will be her third appearance at the Olympics, Musang is looking to reach the podium in Paris, where the Games hold from 26 to August 11, 2024. Well, let's take a break. We'll be back to talk more about the recent development in Rivers State. Stay with us.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and when we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Rebuilding trust. Manipulated and conned over time, Nigerians are confused about whom to believe. Trust is the foundation upon which organized progressive societies are built. Trust embodies important elements of life. This five-letter word, trust, has a deep meaning for whom we are and what we have become. It means being transparent, reliable, understanding, sincere, and truthful. Without any of these elements at play, societies become chaotic and completely disorganized, while anarchy sets in. Lies, half-truth, and deception have created mistrust of the government and, by extension, impacted the everyday lives of the citizens. Many of the woes being witnessed in Nigeria today have evolved from a lack of or betrayal of trust. We must retrace our steps.
We have so many issues to deal with or to grapple with. Issues of economy, employment, poverty, and so forth and so on. And trust shouldn't be one of them.
The trust deficit is a huge problem between government and the government, individuals and their communities, politicians and their constituents, the armed forces and the civilian populations, private service providers and consumers, the courts and litigants, traditional rulers and their subjects, and even between religious institutions and their faithful. But how did we get here? And what should we do to rebuild these broken elements?
If you go to the market, I have witnessed it, where even the measuring board is indented that way so that it will appear you are buying just half of what you are told is being displayed for sale.
Something went wrong. What, when, and how are issues needing interrogation, and these are the questions that this platform will regularly attempt to address and provide informed and cogent answers to. All human relations are based on trust. It is a hard thing to say you have lost faith in a system or humanity. When a house is defective, with leaky roof, broken walls, faded paint, and non-functional amenities, of course, the right thing to do is to fix it. Join me, Sani Mohammed, and others on this platform every week as we discuss ways to rebuild trust and put our house back in order.
ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop.
Are you a young adult with a passion for storytelling and content creation? Do you reside in the Niger Delta and desire to become a filmmaker or content creator?
Then you should register for the ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop, an exciting opportunity brought to you by ADBN TV. Embark on a journey to unlock your creative potential by learning the art of filmmaking, sound design, and lighting using your smartphone. This is your chance to turn your ideas into reality. So hurry now and register via our website at www.adbntv.com. But wait, that's not all. Your creations will be aired on ADBN TV, channel 258 on DSTV, 140 on StarTimes, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app, reaching audiences far and wide. And guess what? 3 lucky winners will be selected for the grand cash prize of 5 million naira.
Meet our facilitators.
Register now at www.adbntv.com and take the first step towards a future in filmmaking and content creation. ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop. Unleash your creativity.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome back. This is still Niger Delta Today. Well, the fracas in Rivers State seems to be taking another dimension as Governor Seminalayi Fubara, following the expiration of the tenure of the local government chairman on Monday and their refusal to vacate their offices, has nominated and as well sworn in caretaker chairman for the 23 local government areas of the state. On Tuesday, the governor sent the list to the House of Assembly, led by the factional speaker, Honorable Victor Jumbo. Governor Fubara's communication to the Assembly was contained in a statement issued on Tuesday night by the Clerk of the House, Gillis West. Meanwhile, the Rivers State House of Assembly has commenced proceeding, and the Speaker, Victor Okojumbo, was seen to be reading out names of the caretaker committee members, and after reading a letter from the governor. In the letter, the governor said the screening and confirmation of the committee members was to avoid a vacuum in the administration of the local government areas following the expiration of the tenure of the elected chairman on Monday. Meanwhile, the police in Rivers State have taken over all the 23 council secretariats and some critical government infrastructure in the state as tension continues to mount. Protests ensued yesterday following threats by local government chairmen whose tenure had elapsed on Monday and said they won't vacate the offices. Conventional police officers and anti-riot police officers were deployed to these facilities.
Sincerely, our officers have been out for the past 3 days. I just finished addressing these officers you see here, and I thank them for the good job they have done. Because they have been out since 4 o'clock in the morning, and they just came back since morning. We are not taking it lightly. We are ready to go. Our officers have been on show of force. We have had additional men given to us from the headquarters. Equipment have been serviced. We are ready to go. This is just to assure members of the public that so far as we are concerned, we are ready to do our jobs of protecting lives and properties. And we have tried our best. We have warned anybody who will want to take laws into their hands. I want to use this opportunity to talk to parents, to call their children and talk to them, so that their children will not be used as cannon fodder in this crisis.
Are there plans to protect the local government headquarters?
Everything that has to do with government, every human being in this community will be taken care of.
Prior to the CP's speech, several council secretariats across Rivers State were under lock and barricades were replicated across the 23 local government areas in the state. After the state governor, Seminalai Fubara, in a state broadcast, directed heads of local government administration to immediately take charge of the 23 council areas of the state. Let's take a listen.
I wish to acknowledge and commend the dedicated services of the outgoing elected local government chairmen, vice chairmen, and councillors who were elected and sworn in 3 years ago and whose tenures expired yesterday, the 17th of June of the year of our Lord, 2024, as provided for by the law. On behalf of the government and the people of Rivers State, I thank you all for your sacrifice and commend your commitment to public service and our dear Rivers.
That the tenure of the council chairman ended yesterday, and today we have ordered the head of local governments to be in charge while they wait for further directives. It's really unfortunate that we started hearing some disturbing news from some LGAs of invasion of council secretariats, and it's really, really unfortunate. So we have called the Executive Council meeting so that the needful will be done. We are also aware that our enemy is also planning a lot of things, but we will not fall into that plot where we will allow him or them to destroy the peace that we're enjoying in the state. Let me also say this. I'm also aware that there is also a grand plan to come and arrest some of our supporters. This time around, you have to pass through me to arrest them, because I don't think there is anything that any of those people following us have done rather than stand on the side of truth. If it will cost us our life to stand on the part of truth, we will do that, and I will be the one that will lead this cause. Let me assure everyone, more especially the great and peace-loving people of Rivers State, the law is the law. The law has said that there is no extension of tenure. The court said so. And whoever is assuring anybody anywhere of whatever, I advise them to desist from it, because peace is what we need in these states. Peace is what we need in the states. Please, I assure every one of you that whatever it takes to make sure that we maintain peace and order, we're not going back with that. Thank you for all you're doing for us. Moreover, the media people, you've really been on watch for us, and you've been doing very well for us. Thank you. God bless you.
Well, with that happening, few minutes ago, the governor, Seminalai Fubara, sworn in the caretaker committee to look into the affairs of all the local government areas in Rivers State. Well, I have with me in the studio to further talk about this recent development, Ike Chuku Jue. Well, he understands why I'm smiling with the name Ike. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here, Jennifer, and of course we'll do our bit to say it as it is.
All right, so now, with this recent development, especially with the swearing in of the local government caretaker committee, what's your thought on that?
Well, it's quite unfortunate what is going on in Rivers State. Rivers State has become the center of focus for the wrong reason lately. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not good for the state. This is a state that we should be talking about governance. We should be talking about development. The Rivers people are yearning for this. There should be continuity. The immediate past governor of the state, who is now the FCT minister, had already laid a foundation for development, for infrastructural progression. We should be talking about continuity and not this kind of chaotic scenarios that we're seeing. It's quite unfortunate. And as far as I'm concerned, what is going on in Rivers State is a mixed grill of everything. It's a legality upon illegality. And I think at the end of the day, we should be towing the path of the law. What does the law state or say about this? Recently, people had approached the court for interpretation, and the law is clear. As at the last verdict, revert to status quo, which invariably means what the initial court had said, which is that there is no extension. Now, there is also the part of the law that states that 90 days before the expiration of tenure, there should be due notice so that you can conduct local government elections. That is why I said it's a mixed grill of everything. It's illegality here, illegality there, and it cannot stand, because it will breed a chaotic environment. And with the way the whole thing is going, with all that we're seeing on television, with all that we're seeing on social media, it's tending towards an anarchical system. And you know what it means when anarchy sets in. It could lead to a state of emergency declared in Rivers State, and governance will be suspended. And the people of Rivers will be the ones losing. I must commend the security agencies for what they're doing, for ensuring that there's orderliness, there's sanity in the polity. However, it is important that the position of the law must at all times be maintained, so that nobody under any guise or under any umbrella breaches the law with whatever they enjoy. So, as I said, what is going on in Rivers State with the forceful taking over of secretariats? As I think as at the last check, 2 persons have been confirmed killed as a result of this mayhem. It's quite unfortunate, because there would not be need for all of this. It's everyone toward the path of the law.
Now, you talking about the law, some people look at cases of, should I say, prodigal son, and the matter of godfatherism, where the former governor and current minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and his now the incumbent governor. Now, he brought in, from the perspective, he brought in Semina Lai Fubara, and now the governor wants to be governor. So what would you make out of this and the issue of godfatherism?
Well, the first question, which is very fundamental here that we should be asking, is, has anyone stopped him from being governor? Because when you say the governor wants to be governor, his executive powers have not been taken away from him to be governor. Now, prior to this whole thing, the build-up to this whole scenes that we are seeing playing out, quite unfortunate scenes, we were hearing about agreements. The president himself, as the father, tried to mediate. They are brothers, take or live. Sure. They're from the same state. The president had tried to mediate between, as I'll call them, 2 brothers. They passed and the present, to see how whatever was causing the disagreement and bringing all the problems, the hullabaloo, can be settled. At some point, we thought that, you know, the stormy seas had been calmed because there was disquiet for a bit. And all of a sudden, we started seeing this. And the papers were awash with the report of Sim Fubara and the FCT minister taking their fight to the local government areas. As far as I'm concerned, this particular issue can be settled on the table of dialogue.
Right.
Where are the elders of River State? Where are the past leaders of River State?
Well, I think now people are trying to take sides, to have some come up to speak on the side of the minister, while others will come up to speak on the side of the governor. So perhaps we have people now taking sides. So what would you suggest should be the best method, or perhaps a measure that should be put in place to ensure that these issues are resolved between the predecessor and the incumbent government?
A non-partisan approach to this. If we begin to take sides, we are helping the situation escalate. Because it's going to be bulk passing. The people on this side will say it's the people on this side that are at fault. As far as I'm concerned, and that is why I maintained the position of the law, both parties are guilty here, in my assessment. That is why I said the law takes precedence at all time. The position of the law is very clear. If everybody just obeyed the position of the law, all of this will be settled. So taking sides at this point will further aggravate the situation. Let us look at the genesis of this problem. The whispered agreement, what was it about? Take or live. There are certain things beyond the two of us. There are certain things beyond the media. There was, or there were, written and unwritten, verbal and non-verbal agreements. We were not there. We were not party to this agreement. I had said at several opportunities given on platforms that it's honorable to be gentlemanly, especially when it comes to agreement. The honorable thing to do if an agreement is not favorable to you is walk away. You cannot keep to the terms. You cannot honor the pacts of the agreement. Walk away. I cannot abide by the dictates. I cannot abide by what the agreement is, presenting to me. Walk away. You are not forced. And an option would have been brought in. But where you say you will abide by the agreements. Now, I'll be very balanced in my analysis here. And that is why I said a non-partisan approach is required to solve this problem. Because if you take sides here, you will offend these people here. If you take side here, you will offend these people here.
But then sometimes it's not necessary to be on the fence.
No, you're not being on the fence. And I have maintained in the course of my analysis that the part of the law is the part to be. What does the law say about local government elections? What does the law say about tenure elongation? It is clearly and explicitly written in the Constitution. That is the grand norm. That is what we should be operating with. And not this show of shame, and not this charade that we're seeing, and not this violent scenes that we're seeing on a daily. It's quite sad, to say the least, that people will have to die for things that could have been settled through the law.
Well, the governor said they are willing to die on the path of truth. That's
well,
what we just
there's something I must say, forgive me, there's something I must say which is also very pertinent. I trust that the law enforcement agencies will do their job, irrespective of whose side you're on. You cannot be on the side of somebody who is breaching the law. The law is clear. You cannot disturb the peace. You cannot, in the pursuit of whatever aspiration or in solidarity with someone else's aspiration, infringe on someone else's fundamental rights. The law is clear. Anybody who disturbs the peace, whether in solidarity, whether against whatever is being done, as long as your action infringes on the fundamental right of another, you will be arrested, irrespective of whose side you're on. All that matters is peace. All that matters is progress, development. That is what the Rivers people are yearning for, not this political debacle that we're seeing every day.
Okay, so now for the friction between the Rivers State governor as well as the FCT minister, now what's really in the heart of it? Do you actually think, because the governor within 100 days in office has had commissioned some projects and also inaugurated some other projects, do you think the people are really suffering in this?
Well, I can tell you that the ripple effect of what's going on in Rivers is that development will be stalled. It's going to cause distraction for the governor, who should be focusing, who should be consolidating on the gains he's recorded in 1 year, if any. I use that word guidedly. At this point, governance should not be stalled under whatever explanation. And that is why, for me, it's pathetic what's going on in Rivers. At the heart of this whole thing is an agreement. If we go back to the genesis of this whole problem, it's an agreement.
All right, right now we will be trying to set up connection with our correspondent in Rivers State, Doris Morrison, to give us on the recent development in Rivers State, especially with the swearing in of the caretaker committee. Good afternoon, Doris. Hello, Doris, can you hear me? Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me. What's the recent development in Rivers State? What's the situation like in Rivers State? Doris, are you there? Well, while we try to get the connection, we will get back. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome back. Now let's reconnect with Doris Morrison in Rivers State to give us an update on the recent development in the state. Good afternoon, Doris. Hello, Doris. Good afternoon. I could barely hear you, but what's the situation like in Rivers State? All right, while we try to reconnect, back to you, Kechuku. Now, we're talking about the development in Rivers State.
Yes.
Now, in your opinion, you believe that there hasn't been any stall, or there has been stalled progress in the state. The governor should be recounting. So now, what now do you think, because the people are actually, most of the people are on the governor's side, what do you think should be done to advance governance in Rivers State? Because these are issues of where, unless these two parties resolve, I doubt there will be any progress made. So what do you think should be done to ensure progress?
As I said before, this whole situation can be settled amicably. We just have to find out what is at the heart of it, which is the question you had asked before.
Yeah.
At the heart of this whole debacle is an agreement that was reached. And I talked about it you know, in my analysis, that you and I were not there when this agreement was entered into. Now, it is gentlemanly to honor an agreement.
What if it's actually against
I'm going
the people?
somewhere. I'm going
Okay.
somewhere. Now, you have an option. I have often said this. There is always an option. You either agree to the agreement or you walk out of the agreement. If the terms are too stiff or too steep, as the case may be, you walk out of it. And then you make your position clear that you will not compromise or do anything that is counterproductive or anti-people. Now, it will be wrong to have agreed to something, and then in the middle of it, you shift the goalpost. And then you come out to say, whatever agreement we entered into was anti-people, was this, was that, except that the agreement was not made clear from the beginning. And then when governance started was when it became clear to you that this is the agreement you had entered into. As I said, all of this can be settled gentlemanly, and no life will be lost. Let us bring both parties to the table. Let us bring the elders in River State to the table. Let us bring past leaders in that state to the table. The president is the father of the nation. He can reconcile these two brothers. I do not see anything between the two of them that cannot be reconciled.
Well, talking about reconciliation, there has been several calls made to bring about reconciliation between the parties, and the latest has been from one of the South-South leader, Chief Edwin Clark, who called for an end to the politics of godfatherism in national polity and the practice of politics for development and growth of democracy in the country. And Edwin Clark made this known in an interview, and he said he's only out to fight against injustice and oppression concerning the Rivers State House of Assembly members who dumped the People's Democratic Party for All Progressives Congress. He believes the issue will ease out. Now, he's not the only person who is calling for a resolve. There has been a number of cases. Some group bodies to organizations, even the CSOs, have also called for resolution. They've called for an end to the political crisis in Rivers State. And well, I really do hope that maybe they would heed to the call. Well, thank you so much for...
Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. It's my pleasure being here. I just hope that the situation will be resolved as fast as possible so peace can return to the state.
I do hope so too. Well, we do apologize. We can't establish connection with Doris Tams Morrison. But on our subsequent edition, we do bring you update on that. Thank you so much for staying on the program. I'm Jennifer Pius. Do join us again tomorrow for another interesting package. Do have a great day.